Here we go, we're out on the boat. I'm doing the boat today for the boys while they do the Guernsey. Matt's sorting the shot out. Paul Main D, Phil and Molly's with us today. So me and Phil are going to do something different. We're not going to go and do the Guernsey today. Not that I'm bored of it, it's just I just don't want to do it. It's a 50-metre dive. I've only got 120 bar of air in, so I'll give it a miss. So some cruise liner tenders coming into here, so I have to keep an eye out on what I'm doing. It's quite a steam down here at 6.5 knots. Half a mile to go. Yeah, there's a lot of tide there. We'll go further up because we can come down this way, but we're not going out that way into the deep. That's 60 metre there, allegedly, more like 50.
Yeah, just dropped the boys on Foreign, so you got Foreign Reef there. We're just south of the harbour. There's some people harbour there. Foreign Reef just there.
Welcome back below the waves again. After waiting a good few hours for us to get in the water, we knew we weren't going to reach a slack tide anywhere, so we decided to drop down behind this reef, which is up near the harbour. It's quite a nice reef. The issue is we've got a lot of tide trying to pull us south away from it. So I found another anchor on this one. This looks like a very, very old anchor. You can almost see it's really old, but the fact that it's just so well encrusted. I don't know how old it is, 150, 200 years old. No one knows. It's a scallop, we'll take that one. That's a nice clean one. The tide is starting to pull very hard south now, so the tide is actually on its way down. It's just gone past half tide on its way down now. Phil spotted a nice little crayfish here. I accidentally touched the reef and just knocked all this silt up. I mean, it stirred the fish and stuff, but it hasn't really scared of this crayfish. It's a nice one, this one. Look at the coloration on its tail. The big giveaway for these things are these two antennae that are sticking out. Look at them, like zebra skin, like a creamy colour and a dark brown. This is how I find these crays. You always see these sticking out of small crevices. I've also noticed something down between my legs because I was just making sure I don't touch the reef. Those are nurse shark egg casings. I don't know if they're still good or they've been hatched already. Possibly they might have not hatched and just been bad eggs. Anyway, let's carry on. Look at this. There's the sea fans and all sorts on here. Try not to touch the reef and damage any of this soft coral because it takes years and years to grow. As the tide's pulling us away from this reef now, we decide this is it. This is all we're going to see a 4-iron reef. We're actually going to head south now. Take a look at Phil's bag. He's trying to pull him off the reef. Yeah, let's go, Phil. There's no way we're going to hold our ground around here. Not with the amount of tide that's pulling us. We're in 30 metres. This is kind of as deep as I want to go. Check this out. Because we're on the back side of the reef, the tide's coming round and causing these little eddies, almost like little tornadoes under the water. Pretty cool. The fish love them. You see all the smaller fish come over to feed. You see them on the right hand side, just here. Picking all the nutrients off the bottom. There you can see the underside of a crab's pouch. It's under its carapace. This is a little reef that's just off the south of it. Normally we see loads of crayfish on here. I think last time me and Phil seen 6 small adolescent crays on this. It's not looking so good today though. These crays don't really stay around in the same place, or we never see them in the same place twice really. Check out this cuckoo wrasse, it's coming over to say hello to Phil. I just caught him out the corner of my eye coming over to Phil's finger. Now he doesn't seem so interested. Now we're going to have to head away from this reef and down onto the sand. I've done this dive so many times before, but it's still really good to see new stuff. There's a baby nudibranch, or maybe a small nudibranch, not quite sure which one. There's a few different varieties of them nudibranchs. So we got 8 minutes pretty much before I go into deco. So now it's time for us to pick up some scallops as we make our way south. This is quite good for bottles, old types of bottles, all sorts of different varieties, some old and some new. There's another little tornado following us. It's crazy. These dive tanks have had the valves taken off, so we know no one's lost them. These have actually been dumped at sea, rather than getting recycled. And they've been here a long time, for as long as I can remember. At least 15, 16 years. This is some clay. This is the old original seabed here. There's no sand on top, just this muddy clay. And this bit is old salvage gear. This is from the Beaufort, because we're heading down towards the wreckage for the Beaufort. When they blew it up, they dragged all the heavier chunks down this way. Here you can see chains and old pots and bits of metal. This is a coiled up, huge chunk of chain. I see Phil's noticed something. I can tell by his body language that he's seen something. I wonder what it was. Not sure what this is either. Could be extremely old. It's not an amphora. Some sort of earthenware, some old earthenware tob. We'll leave it there. Let someone else see it. More bottles. We dig them up and leave them like that above the surface because fish tend to go in and use them for laying eggs inside. Protects them. Gives them that extra edge so they can survive. That's a nice one. That's an old sauce bottle from the 1920s. Two spider crabs getting up to no good. Oh, Phil split them up. Oh, that could have been the future. That could have been more baby crabs there. This is a half decent drift dive. We'll probably go in maybe a knot. It's not too bad. On this side of the island, the drift dives aren't too bad. You can always find somewhere to get out of the tide, even when the tide's pushing hard. On the west coast, well, that's another story altogether. That's a story for another day. Just knocked that bit of pottery. Not sure what it was, but I knocked it with my knee. Oh, something's come out of it. I know what this is. This is a whip. This is a baby conger eel. Must have woke him up. More salvage, more bits. Doesn't matter how many times I dive through here, I always see something different. So there's some rope, here's a plate, there's bound to be something under here. And there's a wrasse laying there, and there's a lobster just to the right there. I'm not sticking my hands in there, and I haven't got nothing to poke them with. Oh, look at this bottle. Is this a black glass bottle? No, it's got like a brown tinge to it, it's definitely not old. We'll leave it there so the fish can use it to live in. With 0 seconds left before I go into deco, we're going to have to start heading up. This is only my first dive. I don't want to go into deco just yet. Penalises you on the second dive otherwise. There's another potential hole. This is another plate from the Beaufort. Can't see no lobsters in there. There's a few scallops around here, but they're all too small. Phil gives the thumbs up. That's it. Let's go. Check out the seaweed. Almost looks luminous. Don't know what type of seaweed it is. Pretty cool looking. No, what was that all about? It's like little tornadoes following us.
Seaweed going up for quite high up the seabed.
Yeah.
So yeah, sheltering behind the reef.
There's a couple there. Wasn't picking every single one up because there was a lot. I need to replace the ones I stole out of Keeney's. Yeah, they were down the back there. See if any of them are actually in size. That one's in size, they all are. Yeah. Nah, I reckon that's out. See you later. Well, I'll get these sorted, but by the looks of it, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. A dozen.
It's the mum and dad donation.
Yeah, thanks.
Sponge?
That's the fuel money.
Yeah.
Did something happen?
Out the night, Mel.
Radio done.
Nice.
That was good, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, really enjoyed that.
Down the cable trench and just went up and down.
There's a lot around the cable trench.
Not the cable trench.
Can't beat the trenches.
Look at that cable trench.
They had a couple of scallops, I suppose that'd do. Might cover the fuel.
I'd have got it. Once back into the deep, JP.
Yeah, once back into
Put your head on the bottom.
20 minutes. We're going on the bottom.
Watch your head.
15.
15 metres, watch your head on the bottom.
We'll get deeper.
Yeah, good.
It's a few more.
Again, the tide is pulling us south at a fair old lick. You can tell the tides come along pretty quick. So at this time of year, when there's a little bit of this growth, this seaweed on the bottom, it tends to lift up in the water column and fly past you. It can actually be quite scary when you're not expecting a big chunk to come past your head. They get a lot harder to find at this time of year as well. You can see this seaweed grows on their shells and obscures them, so you can't really see them as well. Plenty of spider crabs left. And look at this, this is a long-legged spider crab. They've actually got shorter legs than the other ones, but anyway, who am I to question the name? Bit of rubber, there's some of this luminous seaweed floating past again. These are all very small. Check out this, another bit of wreckage. Check what it does when stuff gets underneath it, like a lobster or a crab. Look, they dig out all of the sand and shells underneath. Notice all these shells have been tarnished with rust. So whatever that is, a big old heavy chunk of rust. Phil just checking that this crab pot isn't ghost fishing. There's no base in it, so it's no harm to anyone. Sometimes you find weird things on the seabed. Here you can see a brown edible crab trying to hide underneath this. Not quite sure what it is, so me and Phil have a good look. It's a piece of enamel. It's an enamel cookware from years ago. We'll put it back. After looking at my computer, I think I'm going to run out of air before I run out of bottom time. I've got 38 minutes left. Look at this. This is one of them things that you always get on shipwrecks. You get big old solid things like sometimes you get bollards and that. This is a deck winch. Huge heavy duty winch. These are the two drums on the sides where you'd wrap a rope around it. These would spin. But these are normally absolutely solid on shipwrecks. These are like almost one of the last things that are left. They're so heavily built. Guess what this is from? That's right, it's from the Beaufort. That's one part, and this is the inner part. So this is either exploded apart or really severely ripped apart. Pretty cool though, look at it. It's harbouring a lot of sea growth now. It's really nice to see it in this decent visibility. Normally we come down here in the dark, in the silt, and we find these. It can be quite scary when you swim into that at half a knot. We seem to be diving around this quite a bit now. This is the trench that they dug, and believe it or not, there's a big electricity cable inside the bottom of this. I wonder if it would ever naturally backfill itself. It doesn't seem to, because it's been there for quite a long time now. This is the first of two, so you can see this is the first time I've ever dived with someone and looked at it. You just see the scale. It's got to be 3 or 4 meters wide, probably 1.5 meters maybe deep, just going off into the deep. And this is the cable that heads out easterly direction, then a southerly direction, and heads down towards Guernsey, connects through Guernsey and then onto France. Always full of old shells down here. We're not going to carry on swimming down into the deep. We're going to take a right and back onto the sand and see if there's any more scallops for us. We have been so lucky with the visibility lately. Look at it, it's like gin. Check the air, 'cause I know we're going to be getting low. Just clean my mask a little bit. Let's get ready to start heading up. Oh, I just missed that cuttlefish. Startled him. I don't know where he's gone now. Probably never find him. There is some big fatty female spider crabs left, and they've also got loads of eggs under them as well, which is really good to see. Well, I didn't think we'll get to this trench as well. So this one's further south. Not quite sure how far. 30 meters maybe? 40 meters? I don't know. It's hard to tell when you're underwater. You've got no reference. It's all short vision. It's all stuff that's quite close into you. Just grab a couple more. I think we're going to call it a day. I'm starting to run low on air. Just looking at Phil, waiting for Phil to do the call. No, he's asking me. I'm saying goodbye. See you later, Phil. I've got 50 bar left. I should really be on the surface with 50 bar left. Oh, hang on. Just a couple more scallops here. Maybe just one more. One more and then definitely going up. Don't want to get into a bad habit of doing this every time. Let's go. Oh, Phil's bag's been tucked up. He takes a wrap around the neck so they don't come out. Both up.
I hope that wasn't scallop drops in there.
Alright. How was that?
Seen a bit of wreckage. We've seen the winch from the boat before.
Is it?
Yeah.
I saw that the other day.
Yeah, it all buckled and bent.
Quite mental, right? Yeah, we saw that the other. That's
Yeah.
the one we came.
I'm James.
And we're back, and it's low tide. Nah, it's not quite low tide, it's on its way back up now. No, I haven't got no carry no twins. The issue is, Mole, I bought two 15s down. At least I can carry them up separately. Paul's getting us in today. What's it going to be like, Matt? We got loads of water. Yeah, we got water, mate. Yeah, we're getting shallower though. It's getting shallower. That's about 3 foot now. Give it a blast. Here he goes. It's looking good. It's looking good. It's looking good. Did we run aground or did we hit something? I think we hit something. Yeah, I think we hit something, but anyway, we're all good. It's a work boat, doesn't matter if you hit anything. Look at that stance, look at him.
Poised, ready to rock.
Gazelle. She's in. And every time we come back, more and more appears here.
I'll give you a 5 minute and we'll gear up.
Here you can see Richard coming in with the Margaret K. It's the bigger boat he's got. Thanks for joining us again on another dive. Please like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you on the next tide.